This is BAWLER. Hello, I have prepared an important and interesting video for you. Subscribe and write in the comments what you think about it. What if I told you that the most powerful enemy Vladimir Putin has faced in years isn't NATO, Ukraine or internal dissent, but nature itself? Stay with me, because the most shocking part comes at the end. Putin began July 30th, 2025, the same way he begins most days, by commanding more drone and ground assaults on Ukraine. But instead of leading his war effort, Putin was blindsided by an enemy he couldn't control. A massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake, one of the 6 most powerful in recorded history, struck off Russia's eastern coast near the Kamchatka Peninsula at exactly 11:25 in the morning local time. Tsunami warnings rippled across the Pacific, prompting evacuations in Japan, alerts in the United States, China, Indonesia, and even reaching as far as Mexico and New Zealand. While most of these warnings were eventually downgraded, one nation bore the brunt of nature's fury: Russia. The quake struck a region just 74 miles from the town of Vilyuchinsk, home to Russia's most important Pacific military asset, the Navy's main nuclear submarine base. This base supports Russia's formidable BAWLER-class submarines, which carry intercontinental ballistic missiles and form a key part of the Kremlin's nuclear deterrence. The Kyiv Post and military analysts report that this base may now be compromised, with tsunami waves likely hitting the deep-water piers, missile handling zones, and essential communications infrastructure that support these nuclear submarines. Russia has no other port in the Pacific with such capability. This is a single point of failure. If this base is severely damaged, it would leave Russia's Pacific submarine fleet without a proper launch or return facility, risking the very foundation of its naval nuclear strategy. Despite satellite images and footage showing flooded harbors and damaged infrastructure, Moscow remains silent. No official statement from Russia's Ministry of Defense. Analysts suspect that the Kremlin is once again hiding bad news, reminiscent of the 2000 sinking of the Kursk submarine, when Putin infamously refused international help as 118 sailors died in silence. Footage circulating online shows drone video of waterlogged ports and structures barely visible above the tide. One key site, Kursk, is submerged. Given the proximity to the epicenter, it's highly probable that Vilyuchinsk has been equally, or worse, affected. Satellite imagery from just 2 weeks before the disaster showed 6 nuclear submarines at the Rybachi base, 3 Oscar-class, 1 Akula-class, 1 Bore-class, and 1 Delta-class. Even if some subs were moved to deeper water before the tsunami hit, their long-term safety depends on being able to dock and receive maintenance. With base communications potentially knocked out, these vessels could now be stranded at sea, silenced and unable to navigate home. And then came the second blow. Just hours after the earthquake, the Klyuchevskaya Sopka volcano, Eurasia's tallest, erupted violently, spewing ash and lava. Ash clouds stretching nearly 2 miles into the atmosphere threaten air support efforts. Nature's 1-2 punch, quake and eruption, has battered Russia's Far East harder than any military opponent. Strategically, this is disastrous. Not only is the Pacific submarine base potentially crippled, but Russia's entire Pacific fleet, nearly 100 ships strong, faces disruption. This includes newly delivered submarines and warships meant to project Russian power in the Pacific, challenge Japan, and counterbalance the United States and South Korea. The Pacific Fleet's damage weakens Russia's deterrent posture, and according to expert Jason J. Smart, it opens a dangerous window for opportunistic action, possibly even from China. The Kremlin's paranoia about Beijing taking advantage may now be more justified than ever. Russia's nuclear capabilities are also at stake. With 11 nuclear ballistic missile submarines capable of carrying 624 warheads, even the loss or isolation of 2, confirmed present at the Rybachi base before the quake, represents a substantial reduction in force. Without reliable communication or support infrastructure, those subs may no longer be operational. And still, Moscow stays silent. As with the Kursk disaster, Putin's obsession with maintaining an illusion of strength may once again be endangering lives. This time, at sea. The lack of transparency, help refusal, and denial could be concealing a naval disaster unlike anything the world has ever seen. And if you think this can't get any worse, Russia has reportedly bombed itself 100 times in this year alone. Find out how this chaos continues to unfold in our next video. Subscribe to the BAWLER to keep up with what's really happening inside Putin's navy.